What are the quiet luxury brands that only the super rich know about? John Lobb Bootmaker in St. James. Make beautiful handmade shoes for royalty, celebrities and rich types. They are well known but not a household name. Tailors on Savile Row. Wealthy people get their clothes custom made. I had a rich friend once tell me that Gucci is what poor people think rich people wear. Since then I noticed that all of her clothes fit perfect. But she never has logos on anything. Duxiana. For people who can buy a mattress that costs as much as a car. I used to be of the opinion that really wealthy people wore stuff that you wouldn't really notice. But disappointingly, having spent some time around folks with extreme wealth recently, the true answer is just whatever the hell they like. If someone really liked branded gear before they were wealthy, you'd better believe they're going to be dressed like Ali G once they make it big. Jeff Goldblum was on the Conan podcast and talked about where he got his jeans. It was from this hard-to-find shop in New York that not many people had heard of. Come to find out, not surprisingly, their jeans are insanely expensive and only the very rich could afford them. Nice try, pores. Fret for bedding and towels. I'm still riding the high of the $4.99 rotisserie chicken I bought at Costco, so I think I'm ahead. Out before I get depressed. Amels. They are one of the best super yacht manufacturers in the world with over 100 years of experience. Holland & Holland. $1K for a hat, $10K smoking jacket and $500K for a shotgun. Though the carve your dogs and manor in the side of it. How would poor schleps on Reddit know of super rich brands? I don't know if this is quiet or I'm just extra poor. But low is apparently a thing. I saw an ad that they'd be doing a special launch with Howl's Moving Castle inspired fashion signed up for alerts, thinking I'd buy something when it was released. Shocked to receive a notification for like $11,000 jackets. Zuber County crazy expensive wallpaper and room dividers panels. I love old Rococo and Baroque things, so happy to walk by their store in NYC. Stopped in due to the patterns and quickly realized I do in fact not have thousands of dollars per fort for wallpaper. For example, $5,000, $30,000 per panel. Target. Mugatu. Gildan t-shirts for sure. Bookmarking for when I'm super rich. Loro Piana is an example, but I was wondering what other brands like this are out there. Good Cashmere. Can't state a specific brand. But good cashmere is something that is a pretty penny. That is 100 worth it. Grey Poupon. Holland & Holland hunting rifles and shotguns. Handmade and custom-fitted guns. Prices are on the luxury car level. Thanks for the job search material op. I have a close relative that isn't a billionaire. But close. He wears custom Levi's and custom-made red t-shirts. He usually switches shirt colors every year or so to match his newest favorite car. Red matches his new Corvette. Everything they wear on Succession. Used to live in Irvine, which is next door to Newport Beach. One of the wealthiest zip codes in SoCal. The thrift shops and storage auctions had some really high-end stuff. Bought a storage unit for $120 once and it had a ton of Tom Ford. Brunello Cucinelli. The Row. Sold them online for nearly $20K total. Keeping a few Tom Ford shirts and a Brioni suit that I got tailored. The store in London Simon Cowell goes to once a year to buy 100 sweaters. Zegna. Their jackets go for $10K 30K USD and have no visible logo. All of their items are extremely expensive, but rarely do they show their logos. They only do it discreetly on their cheaper items, I believe. I have a leather jacket from them my grandfather bought 40 years ago and it is the best leather jacket I've ever seen. I had a boss who flew in a jeweler from New York so his wife and daughter could shop. Same guy who said he couldn't afford to give us woefully underpaid staff raises then call everyone out to see the new top-of-the-line BMW he just bought. A. Lang & Son watches. Le Cornu and Aga high-end ranges, rotisseries, and other kitchen items. While not adhering to the quiet part of the question, I'll submit home stereo speakers. A set of transmission audio speakers goes for $1,200,000. Kaleidoscape home movie servers. Started in the heyday of DVD and Blu-ray before streaming. Even had a proprietary DVD ripper that could do 100 at a time like the record players of old. Their software even matched the movie to the data so it looked like you were scrolling Netflix long before it was a thing. Sorsum Avenue Tech who serviced ultra-rich home theaters. Bespoke. Kirkland. When I met my wife she worked selling high-end watches. Talking about it on our first date I said, oh, like Rolex and stuff? She said Rolex customers are just new money. Drug dealers and old men. If people contact us wanting one we just direct them to a watch shop. Then rattled off a list of about 10 makers I'd never heard of which her international clients would fly here just to try on. I was wearing a Luminox at the time which I thought was pretty badass but all of a sudden I felt like a kid running around with that gadget from Ben 10. Nice try. I'm not giving up the identity of my luxury brand toilet paper. It's made of gold leaf and Soylent Poor People. Extra drowsy NyQuil. Newport Brass. Dacor. Viking. Le Cornu. These are appliances and electronics brands. My super rich boss and his kids wear normal clothes just like you and me. Romane Conti. $10,000 bottles of wine that you've never heard of. Goyard Luggage. Google Luxury Pyramid. Quiet luxury brands are all about the materials used. You peasants might think cashmere is the ultimate. Guess you've never even touched vicuña. DuPont, as in the $1,500 lighters. Loro Piana is a big one. The average person probably couldn't tell the jacket you're wearing was 10K. Ketone. Casablanca. Brunello Cucinelli. I can't say X200B because I'm poor as hell. The Row. It's the Olsen's fashion line and everything is unobtainable to the average person. Average price of stuff seems to be $2,000, $3,000 for like a sweater and other items including jackets. Dresses. Pants are $9,000 and up. I just can't even wrap my mind around being able to drop that kind of cash on a single item of clothing that's not a wedding dress. And I actually only spent $150 on my wedding dress anyway. Is Virtu still a thing? Succession kinda spoiled it but Loro Piana. Y'all pores prob never heard of this but Viennetta. iKick. Dassault Falcon Business Jets. Not hating on your grandfather or anybody who's worth $12 million. Good for them. That's a lot more money than I've got. But it's interesting to compare wealth like that to the statement super rich. Pick, for example, Bernard Arnault. If Bernard Arnault makes a conservative 5% return on his wealth, his net worth will increase by the entire value of your grandfather's assets every 8 hours. To say it another way, Bernard Arnault could spend $10 meters every 8 hours. That's 3 times a day or 1098 times a year. Forever. And he'd still be worth $200 billion.